just when the Dallas Cowboys thought they had found some belief, and just when the Cowboys had their eyes set on being the spoiler once again, the Philadelphia Eagles had other plans in Week 17. They sent the Cowboys back home packing with a bad taste in their mouth in their first sub-500 season since 2020. 41-7 the final in Lincoln Financial Field. Now the Cowboys sitting at 7-9. Welcome into Cowboys Flashback, Nicole Hutchison. And it was a shaky from the start. Dallas getting some ball movement and playing with some confidence. All for that positive drive to end with a pick six for Philly. That was the story of the game, honestly. Things going so well, distributing the ball well on a few drives, winning on early downs, but then when it mattered most, there were self-inflicted wounds where the Cowboys just couldn't execute. Here's a prime example. Rico Dowdle able to convert on a couple third and shorts. On the fourth possession, though, later on that drive, it's 3rd and 1, and Rush goes deep to Jonathan Mingo. He's open, just a bad ball from Cooper Rush. And late in the half, just one touchdown ball game. Dallas could have closed the gap, but Jake Ferguson fumbling the ball on the first play of that drive. 4 turnovers, 8 penalties that came at the absolute worst time. Saquon Barkley having his way with Zimmer's defense like he's at Burger King, serving up 167 yards on the ground. Everything going wrong for Dallas, and they had no answers to fix it.
I mean, -4, I think it's obviously is the telltale of the football game. Very disappointed. We all are. Felt like this was an excellent opportunity that we were prepared for. But yeah, -3 at halftime was a real kick in the ass. I think that clearly I thought our defense was put in tough situation. Points off turnovers, and really the tough part for us. The giveaways were careless. I mean, those are things that we got to be better. And then we had obviously the one on the long drive there in the second half. So then they got going with their run game, which they do best. I really felt like our guys had a chance to go win this today, and game got away from them. And like you said, I think your question was the answer. I mean, -4, you can't win games like that. You can't even stay in games, -4. And if you look at the way we've played the last, 5 weeks or so, that's our formula to win. And it was the formula to lose today.
Cooper's played well, played solidly, taking care of football last week. You just talk about the first turnover, then the last one, throwing deep on 3rd and 7 and last week the last time.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely decisions that, you look at and it's not where we wanted to be there, that's for sure.
So. On the 3rd and 1, the deep pass to Mingo, they got picked off. You talking about, was the route not right? Or what?
No, it wasn't picked off. It looked like the wind. No, I understand. It looked like the wind got it a little bit, and felt like we had an opportunity to get on top. He did get on top, so it's unfortunate.
How much could you tell when you were calling plays out there that how much more difficult was it not having CD out there?
We knew that. We knew it was going to be a different game, with the plan this week. So, yeah, but we never really, to be honest with you, we didn't really get to some of the things we'd hoped to get to. The plan was to play with favorable sticks. I felt that the way they called the defense, they were going to try to make us go the long way. They didn't play aggressive at all, and we gave them the ball, and so it obviously was a good plan for them. But felt good about the run plan coming in here, and I thought Rico did had some really good runs there, and the run blocking unit was productive. But yeah, we can't. I mean, it's hard to win games, especially if you're -2, and really the first half was where it kind of got away from us right there at the end, and then once they got the run game going, and then we had the 4th turnover. So, but yeah, passing game wise, it wasn't. I wouldn't really say that we stressed them a whole lot, schematically, but we really wanted to stay in a healthy run pass ratio, and once again we got behind and the game changed.
In the last 4 to 5 weeks, there's been some ups and some downs, but the Cowboys have shown some fight. Didn't see much of that in Week 17 against Philly. But where it all went wrong, George Teague joins the show to break it all down.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, powered by Reliant, is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. And by Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
All of the Dallas Cowboys' momentum they've built in the last 5 games was completely shattered by the Philadelphia Eagles in Week 17. 41-7, the final in Lincoln Financial Field. Nicole Hutchison and George Teague here to break it all down, where it all went wrong and where it continued to spiral moving forward the rest of the game. But we've got to start on that first drive. The Cowboys finding ways to get the ball moving downfield. They're pushing the ball downfield, getting the run game going a little bit. But then they get to about the 45-yard line, 35-yard line, and an interception on a 3rd and 3 play. What went wrong on that play, George?
Yeah, sometimes you just get where you're not paying attention to exactly what's going on. Because of this play that we want to show you right now, you can see that the read could have been a little bit different on this. So this is what we call a cover 10. That's one high and one guy in the hole. So he's in the hole. The rest of these guys are man-to-man, okay? So what you need to watch is the guy in the red, right? So he is going to the hole on this play, meaning he's just going to sit, read the quarterback's eyes, and then break on any throw that goes, right? So he grabs it, heads off for a pick six.
Yeah, I mean, these are 3rd downs positions where you're usually used to seeing CeeDee Lamb, right, in these opportunities or in these situations. But obviously with Brandon Cooks now being the wide receiver 1 in that situation, a little different struggles, right?
Yeah, it is, because he becomes the number 1 guy. But if you look at the back end of it real quick, you'll see that as we're getting ready to go, it depends on where his vision is, right? So he needs to be looking in here and reading this gentleman right here, because he is the one that's going in the hole. So if you actually watch it, Cooper had an opportunity to get the 1st down. Right now, Fergie is wide open. He could throw it to him right between that window. Instead, you got the lurker, as we said, cover 10, breaking on the ball to the house.
Ooh, to the house. I did not like that play at all.
No, me either.
Didn't like it at all.
Me
But you talk about that drive, though. They've responded with the 12-play drive. The Cowboys able to score a touchdown. But after that, pretty much silence the rest of the game. They had a punt, another punt, and a fumble. And then the final half of the drive, the final drive, the half or second, they actually had another interception on a 3rd down play. What went wrong on that play?
Now, 3rd down efficiency has to be better, right? Now, I do like the concept that we run here. This is what you call a flood route. Brandon Cooks is going to go deep. Jalen Tolbert is going to run a corner route. And we got Jalen Brooks on the short route. And what you're trying to do is put this gentleman in conflict. So he has to take either the quick out or the corner route behind him. So, again, when we were talking about Brandon Cooks becoming the number 1 guy, he draws a lot of attention. Cooper forces this down here into triple coverage when he could have taken the deep corner route. So the momentum switches just a little bit going into the half because of the interception.
Yeah, you had Jalen Brooks open on an out route. You had another wide open receiver, Jalen Tolbert, open as well. What do you think is wrong with the decision making with as far as Cooper Rush? Do you feel like it's not enough time? What do you think the issues are there?
I personally think that it's because we've been so critical of him of not taking any shots down the field that we're just saying, hey, he's a dink and duck kind of guy, and all of his things are really quick and not taking the shots. And sometimes you get over aggressive in big games like this and just make the wrong decision.
Over aggressive, but you were still trying to find out who your wide receiver 2 was. And if you look at the numbers, Kevontae Turpin with only 1 catch for 16 yards, Jalen Tolbert 3 catches for 30 yards, Brandon Cooks 4 receptions on 8 targets for 52 yards. Do you think that they were ever going to find a wide receiver 2 within this room?
I think you have the talent in it, but I'm not sure that the number 2 wide receiver is actually there. Me personally, I think you got to go look on the market and see if you can bring someone in to take some pressure off of your number 1 guy in CeeDee Lamb.
Ooh, a lot of more searching to do in 2025. A lot of work for this front office to do this offseason in 2025. All right, well, thank you so much, George. All right, up next, we got to dive more into this offense. How about Rico Dowdle making history or getting in the history books here on Cowboys Flashback?
This segment was brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
Out of the Dallas Cowboys' 10 possessions, there were 4 punts, 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions, a missed field goal, and 1 touchdown. Not necessarily the recipe for success, but that was the resume the Dallas Cowboys left with in Week 17 against Philadelphia. Welcome into Cowboys Flashback. I'm Nicole Hutchison, and Cooper Rush not having a good day in the office, finishing with a 50.7 passer rating. His 2 interceptions Sunday was his first multi-interception game since Week 6 of 2022. In the absence of CeeDee Lamb, it was definitely present. No receiver hit over 52 yards. No surprise, though, the Eagles' coverage defense is one of the best in the NFL, and it showed on Sunday.
We felt like we could move the ball kind of all day. We just kept stopping ourselves with turnovers, and that's the name of the game. 2-3 plays here and there. They don't always happen, in the final minute to decide a game. Sometimes 2 or 3 early can flip a game, get it going, and then you get down and they have what they got over there. And so, yeah, we knew that going in. We just couldn't turn it over.
Also, you talk about the decisions on the 2 interceptions, certainly the first one, and then the 3rd and 7, deep ball to Cooks.
Yeah, first one, man across the board. 8 just fell off. Made a good play. Veteran safety. We had an option route with the Cooks there, and I just got to work through that one.
Tim Callis, Dallas Morning News. You don't have a ton of interceptions in your starts, but you have 5 in this stadium. You just chalk that up to 2 bad days, or they're or what?
Just like I said, it's just a few plays. A lot of you have a lot of good plays, but for whatever reason, the stadium, I guess, I don't know. Maybe I don't subconsciously green. I don't know something, but no, it's frustrating, especially when we've been playing well. We haven't been turning over, giving our defense, what they need, and you do that versus a good football team. It's very challenging.
And even with the struggles, there was a bright spot on this offense. Rico Dowdle's 104 rushing yards against the Eagles helps him surpass the 1,000-yard mark in a season for the first time of his career, and the first undrafted player in team history to do it.
It definitely feels good. Definitely a landmark I wanted to hit, but like you said, not the outcome. Wish it was a different outcome with it. Had a fumble, but definitely satisfying reaching that landmark.
To get defensive front, felt like you had to make a couple of cuts, more so than you would in recent games. What were you seeing as the game went on to help get you to that 100-yard mark?
Like you said, making a couple cuts. Those guys up front, just moving, getting a little bit of movement, making the cutbacks, couple jump cut, make a guy miss, and it opened up. I think we ran the ball pretty well, and they blocked real well up front today. So, yeah.
Obviously, 1,000 yards is a big mark for you, but what's it like to watch Saquon hit 2,000 today? Just as a running back, how much appreciation do you have for the team?
Like I said earlier in the week, he's setting the standard right now and doing what he's supposed to do, and he's had a great season. But and like you said, he hit that 2,000 mark, and I think he's probably around like 60-something away from the record. So hope he can go do that, and that helps everybody out in the running back world. So definitely a lot of appreciation for what he's doing and how he's doing it out there.
How discouraging is it to have this game kind of pop up after you seem to kind of get on track here?
Yeah, very, very discouraging, I would say. Like you said, we won 4 out of the last 5, and coming into this game, we definitely didn't think this would be the outcome. Definitely thought we had enough and to go out there and win this game, and still do. But you can't win games when you're 4-0 on a turnover, and that hurt us a lot, including myself. So it starts right there. It's hard to win games in this league when it's 4-0 on the turnover. So that's one of the main things.
What would you do differently on the fumble? Was it a ball security issue?
Yeah, I think when I bounce it, I'm not really sure. I got to watch it on the film, but I think when I bounce it, I hit off my lineman. So definitely just need to have the ball high and tight. Can't happen, especially in the red zone. So that was one of those costly mistakes in the game.
You dealt with a lot of different offensive linemen this year. What are the challenges in that? What kind of credit can you give to just the many guys up front that have fought for you this year?
Those guys have stayed prepared all year. Like you said, it's been a different group, like damn near every game this year, but those guys just staying prepared, coming in each and every week, putting the work in, and this past couple weeks, I think it's really picked up. And those guys have been able to go out there, but they work hard every day. Everybody practices anyways, so those guys staying prepared and making the most of the opportunities. Specifically, I say Brock Hoffman and T.J. Bassett, he got in there, but Brock, he's been one of those main guys that's made the most of his opportunities out there, so definitely proud of him.
In 4 of the last 5 games, Rico's rushed for over 100 yards in 4 of them. And I called it ahead of this week. He was going to reach that 1,000-yard career mark for the first time. So I'm going to say he's going to reach another 100-yard game in Week 18. I'm going to claim that, all right, here on Cowboys Flashback. All right, the running backs completely taking over in Week 17. Saquon Barkley putting Mike Zimmer's defense in an absolute blender. That's up next here on Cowboys Flashback.
This segment was brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
Just like in Week 10, the Philadelphia Eagles showed no brotherly love to the Dallas Cowboys, outscoring them 75-13 in 2 meetings this 2024 season. And yes, I said 2 meetings this 2024 season. This time with no Jalen Hurts. The Eagles back up, though, in quarterbacks Kenny Pickett and Tanner McKee. They say no problem. Pickett controlling the offense well, going 10 of 15 for 143 yards and a QB sneak for a touchdown until he left the game. Then Tanner McKee stepped in. He finished with a near-perfect passer rating, 156.2. Well, the Cowboys' pass rush we've seen improve the last 5 weeks. They really struggled against this Eagles offensive line. They couldn't get home whatsoever, and it left room for both Eagles quarterbacks to pick apart the Dallas secondary. The Eagles' run game, though, didn't get going until late first quarter, but when Saquon Barkley got cooking, it was curtains. He turned what were 3 or 4 yard gains to first downs and more, running through all levels of the Dallas defense, 167 yards on the ground, surpassing 2,000-yard mark this season. Well, the Eagles' offense played physical. That was from the trenches all the way to their skilled players, and it was felt mostly with Saquon Barkley.
It's upsetting when you come out and you're on the road and you're playing against a good team. You're like, okay, playing well, but can you consistently do it? And you kind of drop the standard like that. That hurts a lot. But, you know, it's a learning experience.
Michael, 1 week left, how would you say you are physically? It kind of looked like you might have been favoring something coming out of the field.
Yeah, Saquon hit me, he chipped me right in my ribs. That kind of like shocked me a little bit. You know how it is. It was just a good, not anticipating rib shot, and it kind of sewed me up. But for the most part, man, I'm good, and I'm looking forward to finishing the season strong.
But that was when you hit Pickett on that same play, didn't you?
Yeah.
When you knocked him out?
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
What about the fast start? You guys defensively, I mean, they were not moving the ball in the first quarter at all. Did something just change at that point? What do you think happened?
Big plays. You look at their play, they had 2 big runs and 3 good deep shots. Other than that, we made them earn it, and you take away the scoreboard. It was about 5 plays that decided this game. And you hate to say that because it's a lot of football, but, you know, the 2 deep shots to Devontae Smith and the one to A.J. Brown, and then also Devontae on that slant, you know, for the most part, we're making them earn it. 3 yards, 2 yards, 4th and 1s, which is good football for when you're playing a team like the Eagles. But the other side is that when you play in those big teams, we understand big plays is going to happen. You understand, like, all right, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, some of the best guys in the league, they're going to make a big play. But you got to limit that big play margin from maybe from that 5 point to like 1. You can handle 1 big play, but you can't give a team like that many big plays.
This is your first losing season in a Cowboys uniform. I assume that's not something you envisioned going into this year with what this team has accomplished since you've been here.
Yeah, definitely not what I envisioned, definitely not what I hoped for. You know, coming off a devastating playoff loss, and you say, hey, I was going to get the same team back, and we kind of know what it's going to look like, what the team's going to be like. And you go into the season and with the devastating injuries all across the board, between CD, Dak, Trey, you just can't catch a break. But you say, you know, there's other teams who are fully healthy and they're not where we're at right now. So I'm going to take that with a grain of salt and use that as motivation to go towards next year.
Micah Parsons saying that loss against Philly was a learning lesson. Well, how do they apply that learning lesson against the Washington Commanders in Week 18? That's up next year as we wrap things up on Cowboys Flashback.
To watch more Dallas Cowboys content on your connected TV, download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. Dallas Cowboys Flashback, powered by Reliant, was brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, and by Reliant, an NRG company.
The Dallas Cowboys now sitting at 7-9 in the season after their loss to Philly in Week 17. But now, can they get their 8th win in Week 18? They take on the Washington Commanders at noon. It's a noon kickoff at AT&T Stadium. Let's go Cowboys. Let's see if we can get it done.